Welcome to another edition of the M365 FM podcast. Today we have the topic Inside Microsoft Foundry, building the next generation of AI apps. My guest today is Yanik Reinhardt, and we talk, we look at his amazing work. He has published 200 plus technical blog posts and contribute to the open source uh, community, delivering more than 30 public speaks every year across the world. And he also is the author of the book Modern Endpoint and I-Driven IT. And he has also built an architect, an in-house framework at BASF with 120,000 employees across multiple units. Wow, this is awesome. So, Yannick, you have built this AI system that's used by more than 120,000 employees. What was the moment you realized AI would fundamentally change enterprise IT?
Yeah, that's a good question. In the end, I already worked with AI before we have a big hype around it. I think the hype starts with the launch of ChatGPT or maybe already with a GPT-3 model. I already worked before. Yeah, there was the hype of a large language model with classical AI with anomaly detection, forecasting, stuff like this. This means I was perfectly prepared for the big hype and directly jump on the train with large language model and already developed here some small tools, had some ideas which I can realize. And yeah, from now on, I used it for multiple solutions I built. For sure, I also use it every day for coding. That's crazy how much this enhance your productivity. And yeah, in the end, it's a lot of fun. But on the other hand, it's also very hard to be on track because so much changes every day. And to follow all these new features and all this stuff, that's hard.
There are two topics you are inside, and I feel often it's like a fight. It's the security part and the AI part. You're both MVP for security and for Azure AI. How do these both worlds concepts work together today?
In the end, I think they work very well together because, in my point of view, there are three technologies which are really essential for the future. It's data, it's AI, and it's security. I think without a strong security, you don't have to think about AI strategy because security is your insurance. Security is the most important piece what you should consider in your IT landscape. AI for sure is the hype, but without good data, you also cannot build a good AI strategy. This means it's for me more multiple tier model, security, data, and AI. This means it works very well together, but to keep on track also here in both environments, it keeps me busy.
Awesome. And for people hearing Microsoft Foundry for the first time, how would you explain it in simple terms?
Yes, in the end, Foundry on the first hand, it's a very easy way to deploy your models in a secure way. This means if you want to use GPT or OpenAI models, if you want to use Anthropic models, you can deploy them on this platform. And you have hosting within the Microsoft data center with the complete security and trust stack what Microsoft provides you. This means encryption, put the models in a subnetwork, work with managed identities. In the end, in an enterprise environment, if you want to build, LLM powered apps, it's essential to use services like this. But on top of this, you have a lot of possibilities for observability to make sure that you are protected from prompt injection, from um, yeah, bad things what you can do with these models, but also you have services to build agents, to build flows. This means it's make it very easy on a web interface to build your stuff, but also to do it via code, to have an SDK, for example, to build agents on a very easy way.
Good. And we have all these wonderful large language models, all this machine learning stuff. What did you think? What's different because machine learning and now AI?
I think what we now have is a general purpose AI. This means in the past you have to very specialize your model for a specific case. Maybe you have to pre-train it, and you have to invest a lot of work that this AI performs. Yeah, very good. But today on, you have a general purpose way. This means the large language models are very smart. They understand the context. They understand, yeah, the full world around it, and in the most cases, it perform outperforms, yeah, everything what we know before. For sure, it's not the solution for everything. I think there are a lot of valid cases also for classical AI or machine learning. But in the end, it makes a lot of things very easy because it still works.
I was on your website, Epic Fusion, and I found this wonderful quote. IA isn't valuable because it's intelligent. It's valuable when it solves real business friction. Can you a little bit explain this quote? Yes.
Yes. um, what I see is AI is a hype, and a lot of companies say, "Hey, we work with AI," or "We want to work with AI." But what I see is often they lack on use cases. They lack on a real concept or a real vision what they want to do with AI. And the important thing is not jump on the hype train. It's more important to understand how the technology works, how your business work, and how you can use it to solve real issues what you have, to make you more productive, to sell more products, to understand your processes and check how you can make them stronger with AI. And what I often see is companies have processes and try to put somewhere AI into it. But I think you have to rethink the whole world. It's more important to have an AI strategy and build your processes around it. I think that's the way how you can use all the strongness what this technology brings you and bring the real value in your company. Also, when you look in the future to make this um, yeah, future ready and not only to solve yeah, small issues what you have today.
Yeah, I see. When I look a little bit into LinkedIn, I think it's like an hype train. It's actually it's AI co-pilots, but you focus heavily on agentic workflows. What is the difference?
Yes, I think the term of it, agent or agentic is yeah, very different interpreted if you read through LinkedIn and all of these blogs. A lot of people say also to normal ChatGPT chat, I use an agent or stuff like this. In my understanding, an agent is someone where I can delegate work and he works independent of me. And that's my goal. This means my goal is not to go in a chat and say, "Hey, please make a research on Google. What's the news from today?" My goal is more to that an agent understand my business, understand how I work. I enable them with different tools or possibilities that he can really make actions and make me more productive and took over my work. That's the important thing for me, and that's also my goal. My goal is really to build full code or pro code solutions with very yeah, strong and agents with a good quality.
I see a lot of also power platforms. So there are a lot of companies and citizen developer and so on. They build something, uh, and yeah, it's could be cool. But have we asked more business questions for really impact, especially when we think about AI applications?
Um, your question is more to check more how the business work, right? And then think about the technology. Yeah. Um, Maybe to sort this a bit. I think the technology is not longer the challenge. I think we have very strong models. We have good frameworks. The coding is very easy when you use AI. This means to bring an idea. In reality, it's not a challenge. It's only the question: what is the real value? What is the real the power behind? And for this, you need people in your company who understand how your daily business work. Where are the points which are really time consuming? Which where are the points what you can automate or can took over from AI? And that's the point. It's a lot of investment in change management. It's a lot of learning also that people with strong business knowledge also understand the technologies and the capabilities. I think that's something what you can't do from today to tomorrow. It's a journey. But the important is that you invest in change management, that you invest in your employees, and that you took everyone you have into this journey. This means really invest in your people that they understand how AI works. And then I think, yeah, you have a flood of ideas. If the people get in this thinking, if the people see really, example cases which works, and if you convince them, and then I think you can make your transformation very successful. But that's the
Awesome.
challenge,
Yep.
to really work out the real use cases with the real business value.
You have this much experience. What are the biggest mistakes companies do or making when adapting AI?
Um, I wrote in post on LinkedIn, and wrote in this the biggest mistake I see if people say my AI strategy is I bought a Copilot license, and I see it often. A lot of people say, "Hey, we use Copilot. We are good in the AI transformation." I think Copilot is a good tool for boost the productivity of office workers. It's good integrated in a product, but for me, it's not a strategy. A strategy is much larger. You have to understand, as I said, how your business works. You have to work out the high value cases where you really see an performance improvement. You also have to think in the future to figure out how you can make things more autonomous. And I think for me, Copilot is not as it is today, not an autonomous tool. It's more reactive. This means you type something in, you get the answer. For sure, you can also build a kind of flows. You also have a kind of triggers. What you can use. But for me, it's not as strong as you build a full code or pro code solution, which is embedded really deep in your business.
Okay. Then what separates a demo AI app from a productivity grade AI system?
Yeah, that's a good point. I think to came to a demo or to a POC, you can be really quick. To make this productive, you have much more hurdles, especially when you're in the European. You have a European AI Act. This means to make sure that you follow this all these guidelines. You have to make sure that your app is secure. This means to challenge the app that you are not sensitive against prompt injection. You have to make sure that everything around is secure, because what I also often see when we go back to your previous question with issues was what companies do is they feed their agents with a lot of possibilities. They are embedded in every tool, but in the end, it's also a threat because if you hijack your agent, you have access to everything. And also here, the point with governance of your AI agents and also the security to make sure that they have an own identity, that you have a monitoring around. Also here, zero trust principles, all these things is yeah, can consume a lot of time until this is also fulfilled. And these are, my point of view, also prerequisites to bring a solution into production. And also in Germany, you have workers' councils in bigger companies um, who needs to be included. This means, yeah, also a lot of paperwork.
Yeah, I know this murder councils. I worked for Siemens and you're for BSF, so yeah, that's it's an awesome topic. But how important is orchestration compared to the model itself?
Um, I think orchestration is the real point which makes the difference. The models are good. The models are very yeah good trained. They have a full context. They yeah increase exponentially from the capabilities. But orchestration is the real point how you can make an agent or a solution very good. And that's the important point to not overwhelm them with context, to understand what's the right context, what you need from specific case. And here is the real work, what you have to invest. And yeah, this is also the difference if you use my point of view, GitHub Copilot or Claude Code or Codex. In my point of view, you see big differences of both the solutions, and that's also mostly yeah, a better concept of orchestration of both.
Oh,
Also, when you compare Copilot Cowork or the classical Copilot, in the end, it's also another kind of orchestration behind, but the increasement of quality is immense if you use Cowork instead of this classical Copilot implementation.
yeah, I think we have so many options to use Microsoft AI
Yeah.
from Azure, from Copilot Studio, and so on. But what will you say? What is the why Microsoft Foundry? What excited you most about Microsoft Foundry right now?
Um, for me, it's the easy way to deploy models. This means if I build a solution, I want to use GPT-5.5, a newest model. In most cases, they have day one support. This means I deploy it, get the API key, I can develop very easy, and I don't have to take care about did vendor use my business data to train their models? How do I integrate this into my app service? I can yeah build a network. I can use managed identity, all this stuff. Um, yeah, what I like in Azure is part of Foundry. I have to say I don't work a lot with these UI features. For me, it's more the access of the models on an easy way. But also to have all these yeah security features around my models to make sure yeah that I have a observability, that I'm protected against prompt injection and all these things, what is very easy.
But how does Foundry change the way developers build AI applications?
um how do I change this way? I think I'm a big fan to not use frameworks because frameworks often lack on capabilities. And I'm faster when I build it on scratch. But if you are starting to work in yeah working or building AI apps, it makes it very easy. You install the SDK, you can interact with these models also from every vendor. You don't have to, as I said, take care about data loss. And the beginning for someone who is new is very easy. Also, you can click through the UI an agent. You can connect it with your MCP. You can connect it to the AI search or Foundry IQ. You can connect it to Fabric IQ. This means you can ground it on a very easy way with your business data. You can index your documents on the search, can make rec without developing rec. This means it makes it, especially for beginner, very easy to build full code applications or agents without deep knowledge.
Hmm. And what think you, which capability inside Foundry yeah, are most underrated actually?
Um, Let me think about what is underrated. Yeah, as I said, it's more or less the full content filter, prompt injections, all this stuff. Because I can configure it as I want to have it. Also, things to connect it with Purview. Also, this is very strong to make sure that not sensible data will be exposed to a model. All these things where I can click in minutes through a wizards. For me, that's underrated, and that's something what other providers like OpenAI and Anthropic cannot deliver because they have not this strong ecosystem what Microsoft has.
Well, when you think Foundry, I think it's enterprise level, uh, or can also use small or mid-sized companies to build an app today.
I would recommend it for every enterprise. This means independent of small or large size. In the end, I think the most enterprises hopefully run in Entra. They deploy their devices with Intune. This means they already have the environment, the Azure tenant. And to start with, it's a question of 2 minutes. You go deploy resource, Foundry, go to deployment, deploy your model, and you're good to go. And you can start with. And in the end, this is also what I can encourage everyone to not wait, and let's overall from the technologies, and also your competitor don't sleep. Really start, try it out, bring your ideas into reality. And as I said, when you have AI coding tools like Claude or Codex. That's so easy. You have your idea, you type in what you want to do, and you came from idea to a product, not a productive, but to a POC in minutes.
Yeah, can you walk us through a real-world architecture of an AI app you have built using Microsoft technologies?
Yes. What I mostly do is I work with an app service. I build my application as a container. I deploy this container via a GitHub pipeline into this app service. I connect this app service with a network to Foundry and use the model. This means that's in the most cases sufficient. You have your application logic, and if you have your model. And if you need to store some data, you deploy also on SQL database, or sometimes also on Azure Table Storage is sufficient. This means the architecture is sometimes not not so advanced. This means an app service and Foundry is in most cases sufficient. What I also really like is the AI search. In my point of view, it's one of the simplest and best search engines which I try so far. This means to get a ton of data indexed, and you can retrieve them in a very good quality. This means if you want to build a application with AI search, it's no brainer and the quality is good. Only the price to get started is not as low. But I think in the meantime, there's also a free tier to get up to 3 indexes. And I think for building in POC, it's in most cases sufficient.
What roles do vector databases, memory, and grounding play in modern AI apps today?
Um, Depends for sure on which app you work, but I think memory is a piece which is very important, especially when you want to build agents which also remember what they already did, or when you have a chat application, you type something in and you not will, give this context again and again. I think memory is very important. Also, rec is in the most cases also very important to retrieve knowledge. And also here in AI search, you have a possibility to have also a Agentic rec. This
Oh,
means not only have a question, give it in a search, retrieve the results, and generate an answer. With Agentic rec, you have a multi-turn approach. This means the agent understand your question and go with multiple turns through the data with different queries to retrieve really what you need to answer your question. And I think today on, I also published a blog this week about it. You have so much terms, you have skills, you have MCP,
oh,
you have reg. This means to came for to a solution, you often have multiple tools that you can use to get the same results. The question is always what's the best way. Also, in my opinion, MCP has a lot of disadvantages. For me, CLI is in the most cases the better way to use or to give models the possibility to execute code and then write CLI commands to interact with tools. But what I also did, I in my current role at Epic Fusion, I built a big AI platform. It's named Frontier Engine. And what I did here is I used the advanced or the good things from MCP, but built my own standard, which has not the disadvantages what MCP has, like to provide too much context to the models. For example, when you have 300 tools, you're often out of a context window, and it's not good to give too much context to a model because then they don't find the needle in the haystack. And that's the point, to have here good balance. And all these things are also orchestration, to came back to your previous question. For sure, you can build the application. You can give there all tools, a lot of MCP server, and hope that the model find the right way. But also, if you build a good orchestration to figure out what's the way to give only the context which is really needed, but all the possibilities that the agent can be fulfill the needs. I think that's more or less the challenge, and that makes the difference between a good orchestration and a bad orchestration.
awesome. When we think a little bit about the topics compliance and governance,
Yeah.
can you give some tips? How do you, work with it or bring it to scale?
Yeah. I think governance in the environment of AI is essential, and what I see is that a lot of companies not yet deal with it. But it's important. I think it's important to not wait before you implement something, because you should be quick. You should try it out. You should collect experience, but don't forget governance. And also here, I think what Microsoft delivers so far, I'm quite happy. I think now with E7 and H365, you have a good way to inventory to your agents. You have a good possibilities to also give them identity, to bring them into a zero trust approach, to give your agents permissions on specific tools or apps what you have. You have also, I think also this is really underrated, global secure access. With global
Mhm.
secure access and purview, you can also make sure that you don't expose um, um, sensitive data from your company. You can also make sure when someone used ChatGPT that no data is exposed. And I think the stack what we have is quite good. I also create a concept for full governance concept from Copilot to full code application. This means everything what we have here, and that's important to consider this and make here a good concept for your company that the developer are protected to make too much mistakes.
Yeah, this is awesome. And when we look a little bit, I think governance, compliance, risk are yeah, it's an old topic. It's
Yeah.
I see actually through AI we have a chance to bring this more to companies. Did you see it also?
You mean to bring compliance and
More
security
in
more to company?
topic, I think it's a chance for I think we have start with data and all say, okay, it's more there some developer use, I don't know, Fabric or so on, and now everyone use it. So I think that's changed the mind how companies think about these topics.
Yes, you're completely right. And I think with AI, a lot of companies wake up and also see what they missed in the last years. If you're a company who still run on premise and now you have the challenge to bring first everything to the cloud before you can think about AI, that are all challenges which now pops up. This means if you have good concepts about how you run your application in the cloud, about compliance, about security already in the past, and you can now directly jump on a train with AI. That's a big advantage. But for sure, for now, it's also a door opener for a lot of companies to convince their management to also go this path and invest more into data, into security, into move to cloud, because that's now essential to survive. For sure, not every company can go in the cloud, regulated environments. They have it, have a much harder life, and also there are possibilities to run your models on premise, and so on. But all these frontier models and all the capabilities and also the strong models, I think, um, are running in the cloud, and the AI world mostly lives in the cloud. This means, yeah, um, it's good when you already go this path before the AI times.
Is the what did you think? Is the AI hype cycle helping innovation or creating unrealistic exceptions? But I think a little bit about the start of Copilot. Uh, from my perspective, I think, oh, this is cool. I can create PowerPoints and can do my Outlook emails, and for me, nothing works like I think. What's your yeah? What did you think?
Um, as I said, the technology is here, and in my point of view, also as of today, you can solve, I would say, 99% of the cases. But the marketing and the expectation, what a lot of vendors do, is far away from their capabilities. This means what Microsoft did at the beginning, they had marketing, and your expectation was so high, and when you tried out, you was very yeah annoyed what they really deliver. And at the beginning, Copilot was in most cases not useful. Also today, you have a lot of cases where Copilot cannot help you, also that you expect it. But you see it will get better and better. Um, on the other hand, I see also the strategy of some vendors like ServiceNow, SAP, and so on and so forth, who think they can um, yeah, deliver a AI strategy which are only in their shell. This means you buy additional licenses and you only run everything into their platform, and that's the complete wrong approach. I think to be successful here, you should be open. You should provide interfaces, and the AI should run where the customer has their platform or their environment, and not inside the tools. I think kinds of copilot to solve small challenges like answer email for sure should be in the tool, but you should also be open to expose your interfaces and your data, which in the end belong to the customer, also to them, that they can build their own solutions. And as I said, to answer your questions, everything is possible as of today. Um, if you be smart, if you build your own solutions, but often what the vendors promise you are far away from what they really delivers you. They often sell their roadmap and not their as of today's state.
And when we look a little bit in Foundry, we can use all these wonderful models.
Yeah.
And and I think, well, I found the premium models sometimes really expensive. Uh, is there an option, or no, not, yeah, there's the option there, but um, how can companies or developer choose between models, and also did they every time need AI models, or can they also use something what's cheaper? I don't know, vector search from Azure, or makes it sense build nearly
Yeah.
all they are.
Um, yeah, I think there are a lot of different possibilities how you can save tokens, and with this also costs. Or how you can lower the model or the quality of model. This means on the first hand, if you have a good orchestration, you can also save costs because as less turns or as less context you have to give to model to generate a good answer, it's more tokens to save, and with this you can also lower the cost. This is one point. Also, if you can build a very good orchestration where also you have a high value context, you don't need Opus to for every task. You can also go with Haiku or GPT 5.4 Mini, for example. This means that's also what differs a good developer to a white coder, to understand how things works and how you can use the capabilities what a model delivers you on an efficient way. And that's, I think, also important points to figure out. And that's also kind of experience or feeling what you need. What's now for this task the right model, and how can I feed it on an efficient way? And that's something what took a bit time, what took some solutions what you built to get out this feeling.
And what role will open source play in enterprise I AI?
If you look at the benchmarks, open source gets better and better. But on the other hand, if you want to get the quality what this frontier models also provides you, you also need a lot of compute. And I think when you calculate it, I'm not sure if you want to really have the strong models and the really amazing quality what they deliver in open source. I think there are models out in the field which are close to them, but to pay this compute, I'm not sure if you are cheaper compared to this pay as you go. It always depends on your solution, on your usage, a lot of different factors. But to run it on a MacBook in this quality is not possible. This means you really need these strong NVIDIA GPUs, and I think only to get them is not as easy, and also to run them also costs a lot of energy. And yeah, I'm not sure if this will be beneficial for companies.
When you
But
get
also
the
depends. Some companies has no other possibilities because they have to run it on premise due to regulations, and then it's a good possibility to also have these capabilities without yeah, running through the internet. But I think in the most cases, yeah, you have to use the big models from the providers in the cloud.
when you get a chance to say what should published Microsoft tomorrow in Foundry, which feature tool should it be?
Um, what I see is the the strong trend you get with a real agent orchestration, agent organization. This means you have in the end how a company works today. You have a CEO, you have leads, you have team players, and you can directly talk with team players. You can talk with the management. They can delegate tasks. In my point of view, that's the way how you can get out a lot of strongness out of it. This means to have different experts, strong experts. You have some more generalists, and they can figure out who is the right person to do this task. For sure, you already can work with agents and sub agents, but the orchestration for a real strong organization, this is a bit missing. And I think that's the secret sauce to get good quality when you want to build a multi-purpose solution. And that's in the end what I built the last month by my own, to have a platform who works on this way. And it would be nice if we also see this first party from Microsoft.
Mm, awesome. That's really cool. Um, when we think about the future, did you think we still need pro coders, or is it something this is a job that will be gone in a certain week?
Um, for me, it's not a job which will be gone. I think it will be more important, but with the right mindset. Um, and that's, I think, in a lot of areas, the point you need the right mindset, you need to adapt this. And then you have two kinds of persons. You have a person who survive in his job, and you have persons who don't adapt, who don't have the right mindset to work with AI. They have a hard life. I think developers are good because you need the ideas, you need the creativity, you need the business logic, and you have to tell the AI what they have to do. You have to understand it also. I think it's a question of months where AI will overpace the knowledge of humans. That's, I think, not in secret, but also you need someone who is accountable, who can also yeah, make sure that everything what the AI produce is also in the interest of the company. And I think for this you need senior developers, you need a person who really adapt the technologies, and then you can 100x their productivity. This is also what I see here. I'm able to work on multiple projects in parallel, and yeah, I would really say I 100x my productivity. And that's important that people see these possibilities and use them, and not to say, "Oh, it's shit what the AI produce. It's unsecure," because that's yeah, not the right mindset. What you need for the future.
And can you give some, yeah, advice to people? They are all overwhelmed by, yeah, how fast this AI stuff is moving.
Um, yeah, don't get overwhelmed. In the end, everyone has to start on on some point, and it's important that you're curious, that you try out, that you build your own agent, that you build your own tools, whatever. Buy a small cloud subscription or Code X, whatever, and try to build your application, deploy a model in Foundry. I already explained it. It's very easy, and try to build your intelligent app. And as I said, sometimes it's only one prompt. You get exactly the result what you want to have. For sure, it's not production ready, but in the end, you learn a lot when you build such an app, and you see also how strong these capabilities are. And what I also saw in the past, you buy a lot of tools to make you a bit more productive or to solve a small challenge. Today on, if I have to do some manual work or whatever, I quickly code me a solution. And in the most cases, I spend less time to produce the app, which I would pay a lot of money in the past. Compared to the time which I would waste when I do it manually. In the end, it's a bit scary if you see how lazy you get,
Yes.
and if you have to do all this work manually again, I think that's impossible. And also you have to manage a bit also your expectations, because um, when you adapt AI everywhere, you have such a high productivity. This means also your expectation to yourself are such high that you deliver so much output over the day. And if you have a day where, yeah, you have a bit more manual work or stuff like this, and your output is not on this level, you're a bit annoyed. And that's also something, yeah, where you have to set your own expectations.
When you could build an AI product with unlimited resources, what will it be?
Oh, that's a good question. um, i- in the end, I think when I can really dream and can build something with unlimited resources, I would rethink the way how operating system works. What we have today with Windows, Mac, Linux, whatever, it's also it's everything is designed for users. Someone clicks on a mouse and do something. If I would build something by my own, I would put AI everywhere where you can. I would yeah, design it on a way that it's AI native. This means that everywhere where it's possible, AI can took over my work, and I only have to think and make, hey, do this, and the AI can do it.
When you have to say there's one AI buzzword there you are tired of, which one is it?
AI itself. Yeah, in the end, you read it everywhere. You read it on a lot of products. You read it also on a lot of features where no AI is in. For example, in Microsoft Intune, Microsoft published an offboarding agent, or yeah, an offboarding agent to retire a machine which are non-active since 90 days, and that's for me a linear workflow. If a machine don't connect for 90 days, retire it, and they named it agent, and that's a bit the whole marketing thing around AI and agents, and I'm tired of all these marketing things for stuff where AI is put on, where AI don't is not needed, because there are still a lot of valid cases where standard workflow works, because you build it once, you test it, and when it works, it works. And then agent, you have a kind of yeah, variances, how they act. It's not always 1000% sure that it always behave on the same way. And as I said, there are a lot of valid cases for classical flows or implementations, and not everywhere you have to put AI on to sell a product. But that's what a lot of vendors do.
You have authored the book Modern Endpoint and IT-driven IT management.
Yeah.
Is there another book you can say people should read?
Um, yes, but in the end, what I like is the 1%. I forgot the name of the book. But what I really encourage people is more or less to read people about mindset, because mindset is very important um, yeah, be successful in a lot of things in your life, but also in thinking AI on the right way. And as I said, the technical challenges are not as high as they was maybe 1 or 2 years ago. For me, it's more to have the right thinking, to have the right mindset, and these are books which I can recommend.
And what can people learn from your book?
My book, in the end, I'm MVP for Foundry and Intune, two different worlds, and I try to combine both worlds to show how AI can help in the world of modern endpoint management, how you can build your own solutions, how you can build your own co-pilots. I wrote this book. I published it in January 1 year ago. But in the meantime, yeah, a lot of things are already outdated due to the speed. But in the end, to inspire a bit to get my thinking, I think this book will help to also understand the base technologies to implement AI. I think that's everything in this book. But if you publish today a book about AI, the life cycle is yeah, very very short because, as I said, the pace is too high.
Yeah, I do the M365con.net, but feel free to tell what's your favorite conference to speak at.
Um, my favorite conference was Workplace Ninja in Denmark. I think it was around 1,000 people who participate here, and I'm on a lot of events, but that's for me outstanding. How the organization is, how the venue is, how um, the um, collaboration. Sorry, it's Experts Live Denmark. How the collaboration of all the participants and the atmosphere. It was amazing because I am often on conferences which are focused on one single topic, and this was a really bright topic. But it was a one community, and it was a very nice event.
Awesome. And what was the last thing you learned that blow your mind?
Mm, the goal feature from Codex and now also on Claude. You set a goal, and I think in the meantime it runs 3 days without break. You set a goal, let the agent fulfill this goal, and he will first end when this goal is really solved, and that's really mind blowing because in the past you have made these sessions from 1 hour. You say, "Hey, implement me this feature." It's implements this. You test it. It doesn't work. You make another try, and yeah, after some iterations, you get it on a level where you want to have it. But now you set slash goal, and say implement me the application which has this and this and this feature, and some days later you have it perfectly working, and that's really mind-blowing.
It's also correct itself.
Yeah, in the end you set a goal and it's always correct itself
Yes.
until this goal is really reached. And when you write in, I want to have a 100% working application, then it makes a lot of tests and everything. And yeah, as I said, it runs in the meantime 3 days in a row. I'm curious when it ends, but that's really mind blowing for me.
Awesome. Yeah, we're running a little bit out of time. So then my last question is, when people look back at this AI area 10 years from now, what do you hope your contribution to the industry will have been?
For me, for everything what I do in the community, for me, it's important to inspire, to show how you can build a solution based on the technologies what you have. For me, it's also important to help the people to get the right thinking, the right mindset, and I often 2 or 3 steps before the technology. This means I try also to think a lot in the future and already start today to think about how this could be beneficial for us or for the community or for customers, whatever. And also to share as much as I can. This means that's really what gives me energy to share knowledge, to share ideas, and bring it, yeah, to the community.
Awesome. Then I say thank you. And the last words I give you to the audience. And one thing I only mention is, yeah, all listeners, you find all information about Yannick in the show notes. So yeah, what's your last words?
First of all, thank you very much to invite me. It was a lot of fun to be part of this podcast. And my really last words is don't think about, really try it out. Start to deploy your model, try it out, build your own solutions. Because the technology is moving fast, and you should jump on the train and to yeah, educate yourself to understand how AI works and how you can bring benefit to your enterprise.
Yeah, then thank you, Yannick. This was amazing. Bye and have a
Thank you
great
very
day.
much. Bye.